Hello everybody, how are we doing? This is Alex Spence, self-realised renunciate monk, coming at you once more for some more kind of live footage, pre-recorded footage. But I hope we're well. Just sort of bring up a subject of debate or subject of something to talk about in the respect of awakening and waking up and realising all these wonderful things about yourself and life and all this stuff that's going on. And I want to talk about family life and how difficult that can be sometimes. Well, I personally went through this when you sort of like come into these realizations. I think me personally, I think my family told me, I sort of asked, why am I reading all these books? Why don't I try and read some sort of like fiction, as in what does that mean, as in like a storybook? And I say I'm not against storybooks, but at the time I was just trying to work out what was going on. I had to direct my attention to books on the mind to try and figure out how to deal with all these influx of emotions which were going on, and I sort of like became quite obsessed about finding out the truth and getting to the truth of everything, because I was finding out so much about myself. I was trying to figure out what was going on with me. I was trying to figure out everything that was going on in the world that I was witnessing, and just something didn't quite fit right. Something just didn't seem like it didn't seem right. So I've had to try and get to the bottom of something. And they were telling me she needed to relax and I needed to sort of like not take things so seriously. And the thing was, the ironic thing was, the byproduct of learning all this, you become to relax. That was the whole funny thing. And I think that's what makes it more frustrating sometimes, when you have these conversations with your family and they don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, and they don't understand the sort of path that you're on. And I found a cool little pathway here. This is rather nice. It's just in the middle of nowhere, as I usually am. But anyway, back to subject. I just think it's sort of that's what really, it can lead to real frustrations when you are your inner growth and your progression with everything in life. Oh, I think there's a dog coming around. Oh. Okay, I need to apologise about the edit of this if it comes across like that. But I just got attacked by the happiest dog in the world. Just thought, I don't even know where the owner is, but I thought I was just stood here, I was doing this filming, and the dog just came over to me, just like jumping up and down. How nice! And dogs, can't beat a dog's wagging tail, huh? But where was I? Let me try and regroup. Yeah, I was talking about sort of families and how this can lead to it, like the first stages of isolation, I think, when you're trying to figure out what's going on and get to the bottom of things. And yeah, that was what I was saying about personal growth, and how essentially you're on this path and I presume you want to get to the bottom of stuff, and you want to try and you're trying to improve your evolution, try and improve the journey that you're on by getting through these barriers, to try and work out why life's throwing these things in front of you. You're trying to figure out what lessons you're trying to be learned from and stuff. And this could be sort of like this can be like a real almost like pain almost. But I feel like how nice is this? But how I sort of overcome it once again. I think I talk about this a lot in the respect, you are doing what you're doing. I think it's just, you've always got to think like that. Even if it's your family, and you have that detachment which can leave to you feeling isolated, but you'd always come back to the fact of people believe always what they want to believe, and it's always like your family is going to be the sort of like the pride, like that's just the way it's going to be sometimes. And most of the time, I'm sure you can relate to this, but I went through a stage of like trying to get people to believe everything that I believe, and it just comes down to sort of like where people are. Some people aren't ready to hear this kind of stuff. You know, they're not ready to hear about spiritual evolution or waking up. They believe everything that they see on the telly, and they're sort of like locked into that kind of system, you know, and that system of thinking and beliefs. That sounds a bit better. But I think sort of how I overcome this isolation is I always think that. I always think to myself, I'm doing what I'm doing. That is it. That's the bottom line. It doesn't matter what they think. But even though your beliefs and everything's so different from them, you still have that connection of love. You still have that bondage through love and the respect that we're all made of the same stuff. But in sort of short, I'd like to hear anyone's opinions on this, really, just to see who's had trouble with, like, when it comes to growing up and when you get these realizations, how becoming of your family been to you for this? Are they accepting of you, or have they tried to mold you back into something else? Or how have you coped with this? Has it gone on for years? Have you found yourself detaching yourself from family altogether? Have you tried to sort of like move away because you can't handle it anymore, because that disconnection from them is just almost too much for you? You can't look them in the eye and see anything in common. Your souls just don't match. And that can be a real tough position. Yeah, absolutely. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, about like waking up, family life. This is the subject of today. Please leave a comment, anything. Much love. Peace out. This is Alex Spence, self-realised renunciant monk, literally, once again, in the thick of it. I just want to say much love. Thank you. If you haven't already, if you're new to my page, please sign up. Hit the blue button just above. Just send out a newsletter each week on some nice stuff like this, awakening the evolution of us all, to see if there's any tips and hints that you could sort of like, that I can give you, that you could pick up on, and could sort of like give you that another stone to step on to the next phase. You know, that's what it's all about. You never know. I might put some there might be some like breadcrumbs for you, which like lead your path a little bit further forward. I just want to say peace out, man. Thank you very much, Alex Spence, for all your likes, comments and love and everything. Just much love, guys, and I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll catch you tomorrow. God bless. Goodbye.